They stared at her like she didn't belong. Cassandra Ellison, flawless, proud, and 100% unbothered, walked into La Rue d'Or, the most exclusive French restaurant in the city, with her head held high and her locks cascading over her silk shawl. She had waited 3 months for this reservation. She was celebrating something big. What she didn't expect was the maitre d' to stop her at the entrance. "I'm sorry, we're not accepting walk-ins tonight," he said without even glancing at the reservation book. "I have a reservation," Cassandra said calmly. "Under Ellison, Cassandra Ellison." The maitre d' scoffed. "There must be a mistake. This is a members-only event." "I am a member," she replied, showing the confirmation email on her phone. But before she could finish, 2 security guards walked over. One of them gestured toward the door. "Ma'am, we're going to have to ask you to leave." All eyes in the lobby turned toward her. Someone even laughed. The air grew thick with judgment because of her skin, her age, her confidence. Cassandra had spent her whole life dealing with this kind of treatment, but tonight it stung differently. As she turned to leave, her voice cracked just a little. "You'll regret this." The next morning, a matte black SUV pulled up to the front of La Rue d'Or. 2 men in suits stepped out, followed by a tall, statuesque woman in all black with an earpiece. Inside the restaurant, the staff barely looked up until she walked in. It was her, Cassandra Ellison, but she wasn't just a retired professor as they had assumed. No. She was the new majority shareholder of La Rue d'Or's entire parent company. The moment she walked in, the maître gasped. The manager scrambled from the kitchen, but it was too late. Cassandra's voice echoed through the marble-lined halls. "This place judged me before I ever sat down. Let's see how it feels when the tables turn." Gasps swept through the restaurant like a wave crashing against stone. The maître d's voice trembled. "Ms. Ellison, I didn't realize." "No," Cassandra said coolly, "you didn't. You assumed. And those assumptions? They're going to cost you." By then, a few early lunch guests had arrived, watching in stunned silence as Cassandra, flanked by her 2 legal advisors, strode to the center of the dining room. She reached into her coat and pulled out a rolled-up document. It was the change of ownership papers. "As of 8 a.m. this morning, I own 53% of Valmont Hospitality Group. That includes La Rue d'Or, so technically," she leaned in closer to the maître d'. "You work for me," he stuttered, blinking rapidly. "Ms. Ellison, please. This is all just a misunderstanding." "Was it a misunderstanding when you called security on me last night?" she asked, her voice sharp and clear. "Was it a misunderstanding when you dismissed my name, my reservation, and my existence?" He fell silent. The head chef emerged from the kitchen, apron dusted with flour. "Cassandra," he said, recognition dawning in his eyes. "Professor Ellison?" Cassandra turned, surprised. "Eduardo?" "Yes, you taught my food ethics course at Columbia 10 years ago. You inspired me to run kitchens with dignity. You taught me that food should bring people together, not divide them." The maître d' paled. "Funny," Cassandra smiled. "I remember you being a better student than this staff has been to its guests." She scanned the room. "We're making changes, immediate ones. This isn't just about one night. It's about every person who's ever been dismissed, overlooked, or judged for simply being themselves." By noon, the restaurant was buzzing, not with customers, but with press. News vans lined the block. Cameras flashed as reporters pushed through the crowd to get a quote from the woman now being hailed across social media as the Black Queen who bought the building. Cassandra didn't plan this. She didn't need the attention. But the moment had arrived, and she knew exactly how to use it. She walked to the front steps of La Rue d'Or, holding a microphone someone handed her. "Yesterday," she began, her voice steady and proud, "I was escorted out of this restaurant for being black and wearing sneakers. Today I walked back in as the majority owner." Cheers erupted from the crowd. "But this isn't just about me. It's about the young black girl who wants to wear her natural curls and still be treated with respect. It's about the elderly woman in line at the bank being asked if she's in the right place. It's about every person who's ever been told, 'You don't belong here.'" She looked directly into the camera. "We belong everywhere, and when we show up, we show out." The maître d' tried to slink back inside, but Cassandra wasn't done. "Oh, and one more thing," she added, smirking. We're renaming the restaurant. Gasps again. It'll now be called Maison de Grâce, House of Grace. A place where every person, no matter their race, class, or sneakers, is welcomed with dignity. The crowd roared. The crowd's cheers began to quiet down as the cameras turned toward Cassandra. She stepped inside Maison de Grâce, the restaurant's new name glinting above the entrance in gold letters. But as she entered, her heart skipped a beat. Standing inside, she saw the manager, Leslie Ryland, the same woman who had humiliated her the day before, looking lost, her head hanging low. Leslie, who had been so quick to judge Cassandra, now seemed like a shadow of herself. Before Cassandra could speak, Leslie took a step forward, eyes brimming with remorse. I'm so sorry," Leslie said, her voice trembling. "I didn't know who you were. I didn't know what I was doing. The way I treated you, it was wrong, and I want to make it right. Please, can we talk?" For a moment, the room went silent. It wasn't just the employees who were watching now. It was the press, the people who had gathered outside, and those still standing by the windows. Everyone was waiting for Cassandra's response. The tension was palpable. She exhaled deeply. This wasn't about her. It wasn't about getting back at one person for their mistake. It was about making the system better, creating a future where people weren't judged based on their skin color or appearance. "You don't owe me an apology, Leslie," Cassandra said, her voice steady but kind. "You owe the world one." Leslie nodded, tears forming in her eyes. "I've learned so much today. This is bigger than just what happened between us. I know what I've done wrong, and I want to help make it right. I want to be part of that change." The cameras flashed. The press scribbled furiously. Cassandra's story was about to take another unexpected turn. "I think we can start by making this place a symbol of inclusion," Cassandra said, her words loud and clear. "You can stay, but you'll be working with me. You'll be working for the community. Let's teach the world how to fix what's broken, together." Leslie wiped her eyes, nodding, as the crowd erupted into applause. Cassandra turned to face the media, smiling. "This isn't just my victory. It's a victory for every single person who's ever been treated less than because of how they look, because of who they are. We all deserve respect. And now we're going to make sure it's the standard, not the exception." As Cassandra left Maison de Grâce for the last time that day, the city buzzed with excitement. Social media exploded with hashtags like Cassandra takes over, justice served, and respect for all. The press followed her everywhere, asking for interviews, telling her she was an inspiration, but all she wanted was to go home, sit back and relax. It was time for her to enjoy the fruits of her labor, and as she settled back in her office later that day, her phone buzzed. It was a message from her old college mentor, the one who had inspired her to start her journey. The words on the screen made her smile. "I always knew you'd make a difference. You've just proven it. Keep shining." And at that moment, Cassandra knew this was just the beginning. She wasn't just fighting for herself anymore. She was fighting for an entire generation of people who would never have to face what she went through. If you believe in powerful stories of justice and empowerment, be sure to subscribe to Dark Side of Luna. 1,000 episodes of inspiration and change are on the way.